If you've just finished Severance Season 2 and you're still staring at your screen, confused, heartbroken, and a little haunted, you're not alone. Between creepy animatronics, the dismantling of a dead baby's crib, and a marching band straight out of a nightmare, this finale leaves you with a mix of awe and dread. But every unsettling image means something. Let's dive deep into Cold Harbor, Mark's impossible choice, the goats, and the chilling clues for Season 3. The Secret of Cold Harbor, the finale's title. Cold Harbor is more than just a location. It's the beating heart of Lumen's experiment. After 10 episodes of mystery, we finally discover what's behind that ominous door. Cold Harbor isn't a room at all. It's an entirely new consciousness, one built for Gemma Scout, Mark's late wife. Inside Lumen's labyrinth, every chamber represents a separate file, 25 in total, each designed to hold a different level of trauma. These rooms test something called the barrier, the invisible wall that keeps an innie's pain from bleeding into their outie's world. Gemma's room contains the ultimate trauma, the death of a child. If the barrier can hold that, Lumen will have proven it can contain anything. The company's mission sounds noble on the surface, to end pain itself. Imagine a chip that filters trauma out of the mind, a world where grief, fear, or guilt could simply be deleted. But beneath the promise lies something dark. In removing pain, Lumen removes humanity itself. Even the mysterious numbers that the refiners sort every day tie back to Gemma. They're not meaningless clusters. They're fragments of emotion, connected to Kier Egan's 4 tempers: woe, frolic, dread, and malice. Each number is a feeling, a memory, a whisper of someone's soul. Lumen's ultimate goal is to tame these emotions and rewrite what it means to be human. Mark's heartbreaking choice. The most shocking moment of the episode comes when Mark leaves Gemma behind and runs off with Heli. At first, it feels impossible. How could he abandon his wife after everything? But then we remember, this isn't outie Mark. This is his innie, the version created to serve inside the severed floor. For the innie, Gemma is almost a stranger, but Heli is real. She's the one who's shared his pain, his rebellion, and his hope. Saving Gemma means destroying Lumen, but that would also erase him. To choose Gemma would be to choose his own death. Heli tells him that the only way he can live is if he saves Gemma. But Mark doesn't just want to live, he wants to live with Heli. It's an impossible dream. Heli isn't just his co-worker. She's Helena Egan, heir to the company that enslaved them. Still, love isn't rational, and Mark's desperate choice to flee with her feels both foolish and beautifully human. Their final run through the hallway, shifting from digital clarity to film grain, symbolizes more than escape. It's the passage between worlds, between life and death, consciousness and oblivion. As the frame freezes, time itself seems to stop, leaving us uncertain if they made it or not. The song playing, "The Windmills of Your Mind," echoes the theme perfectly. Consciousness looping endlessly, memory devouring itself. The goats and the ritual for 2 seasons. Fans have wondered, what's with the goats? Why are they being raised underground? The finale finally hints at the answer, and it's terrifying. The goats are sacrifices. Each ritual represents the offering of innocence in exchange for control. As Gemma dismantles her baby's crib, a goat is slaughtered elsewhere, 2 acts mirroring one another. The child she lost and the kid being killed are symbolically linked. It's a ceremony meant to attune her soul, to align human consciousness with Kier Egan's divine order. In myth, goats often represent bridges between life and death. Lumen twists that symbolism. Their rituals aren't about purity, but domination. The goat's death signifies the surrender of humanity to a higher artificial will. Every room, every ritual, every goat is another step toward turning people into programmable beings. The hidden truth about Mark and Kobel among all the theories. One stands out, that Mark is actually Kobel's son. Throughout both seasons, Kobel has treated him differently, with warmth, curiosity, and guilt. She hovers, bakes for him, protects him when no one else will. And when she says, "I care for you," it feels loaded, almost maternal. Clues scattered across the show hint at a hidden relationship between Kobel and James Egan. He admits to having many children sired in the shadows. If Kobel had one of them, and if that child were Mark, it would explain everything: her obsession, her protectiveness, and her unspoken sadness. It's a theory that makes their entire dynamic far more tragic. She might have given up her own son to serve the company that destroyed both their lives. The exalted victory of Cold Harbor 1. Of the most haunting images in the episode is the painting titled "The Exalted Victory of Cold Harbor." It depicts Mark standing triumphantly, surrounded by co-workers, friends, and even his enemies, as though he's achieved some divine revelation. Above them, the Egan family watches like gods from a waterfall called Woe's Hollow, the same place where Kier drowned out the cries of his dying twin brother, Dear. Even the names hide secrets. Dear Egan can be rearranged into AI-generated, hinting that what we're seeing, or even who Mark has become, may not be fully human anymore. Severance loves its wordplay, and nothing in that painting feels accidental. It's a portrait of worship disguised as victory, showing how deeply Lumen's influence has seeped into every soul. Dylan and Gemma's final movements. Dylan's story gets a quiet but powerful close. His Audi, after discovering the life his innie lives, finally understands what's been taken from him. The letter he sends feels like an apology, a recognition that his innie is stronger, braver, and freer than he'll ever be. When Dylan blocks Milchick's path, risking everything to help his friends, it's a small act of rebellion that feels monumental. It's the moment he chooses who he wants to be. Not an employee, but a person. Gemma's escape, on the other hand, is a blur of shifting consciousness. Mark's Audi descends into the severed floor, becomes his innie, and finds her trapped within Cold Harbor. As they try to flee, their identities swap mid-kiss. He turns into innie Mark, she back into Miss Casey. When she crosses the threshold, she becomes Gemma again, free for the first time, while he stays behind. It's tragic and poetic, the pure essence of Severance, freedom bought by sacrifice. What Season 3 could bring Season 2 ends without closure, just endless questions. Will Gemma save Mark the way he once tried to save her? Will Heli finally rebel against her father's empire? And can the innies truly survive outside the walls of Lumen? One theory suggests James Egan will swap Helena's consciousness for Heli's, letting the innie live in the outside world while the real Helena disappears. That would give him total control over his daughter's body and over Mark, who might follow her. Another possibility, Gemma leads an uprising of awakened innies, uniting the fractured minds trapped beneath Lumen's headquarters. Whichever path the story takes, the question remains the same. Is a life without pain worth living if it means losing what makes us human? In the world of Severance, every number hides a memory, every ritual hides a purpose, and every door hides the truth. Cold Harbor might have been built to contain trauma, but the real nightmare is realizing that pain is the only proof we're alive.